Okay, this is lesson 7-2, the on your own problems. So we're just going to review these real quickly and make sure you're understanding what you need to do here. So when it says rewrite this expression using the base only once, okay? So what they want you to do is just make sure you leave the base alone, so keep it as a 5. Don't multiply it and call it 125. A lot of kiddos like to do that. So if you're looking at this, if nothing else, think of it this way. If it's x to the negative 2 times x to the negative 3 times x to the 8th, you end up with x to the something power here, okay? And so you won't change your base here. You have bases of x, so you keep a base of x. So it'll be the same thing here. You have 5s, so you should be keeping a base of 5. And now it's a matter of just adding it up, okay? So when we add negative 2 and negative 3, that's negative 5. Add on the 8, so we get 5 to the 3rd power. Or down here, it would be like x to the 3rd power. Now, this is fine because it says write it only with bases, so that would be acceptable. On a test or quiz, we are going to go ahead and ask you to take 5 times 5 times 5, or tell me that that's 125. Okay? All right. Number 2. Okay, so side by side is asking us to simplify. We are multiplying. Okay, so we're multiplying these two together. Now, I'm not teaching you any rules about these guys. You're still just going to multiply that right there and call that negative 15. Then add up your a's, so start with your a's here. So we've got 3 and negative 4. So when we add, that's a to the negative 1. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the w's. W to the 4th, w to the 7th. So when you add, you get w to the 11th. Now you are not allowed to have a negative exponent. Okay, so we need to go ahead and rewrite that, just like we did in class the other day. Rewrite this and drop that a to the negative 1 down. So you're going to end up with negative 15 w to the 11th over just a, or a to the 1st. It doesn't matter if you put the 1 there or not. Okay, and that would be your answer. All right, next one here. So simplify. So now as a reminder, this guy right here tells you how many parts. So I want 3 parts, but they need to be the same number all the way through. So in this case, 2 times 2 times 2 gets us 8. And then this just tells you how many parts to use. So I'm going to use 2 of them. And so my answer here will be 4. Okay, so review again. How many parts? We've got 2 parts. So what times what gets us 9? So 3 times 3. And then again, this top guy here is telling us that we need to use 3 of those. So I'm going to multiply by 3 and end up with, that didn't work out well, end up with 27. All right, and on the 5th one here, okay, again, you're just going to multiply these front numbers. I don't care what they're attached to. You multiply the front numbers, just like we did back up here. Okay, so negative 2 times negative 3 is 6, times 4 is 24. Okay, now let's combine our b's. So b to the 1/3 and b to the 5/6. Now, if you are not, don't have a calculator or whatever, just off to the side, do 1/3 plus 5/9. Come up with a common denominator here. So we're going to multiply by 3's and get 3/9 plus 5/9 for 8/9. So we have b to the 8/9. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the c here. We've got 2/5 plus 7/10. So again, we need a common denominator. We're going to multiply by 2's here to get 4/10 plus 7/10, or 11/10. So it'll be c to the 11 over 10. And that's going to be your final answer. Okay. All right, that concludes the lesson 7-2 on your own problems.